Let us now discuss the Mimamsa philosophy. The Mimamsa philosophy is believed to be originated in the Mithila city. The basic text of the Mimamsa philosophy is the Mimamsa Sutra, written by Gemini. The important figures that we find in this school of thought are Shavarswami, Kumarila Bhatta, Pravakara Mishra, and Murali Mishra. The word Mimamsa means investigation. It is about the attainment of heaven. Mimamsa is about the interpretation of the Vedic rituals and is of two types: the Dharma Mimamsa or Purva Mimamsa and Jnana Mimamsa or Uttara Mimamsa, which is also known as Vedanta. The Mimamsa philosophy deals with the rituals or karma, while the Vedanta school concerns with knowledge or jnana. So, Mimamsa is concerned with dharma and Vedanta with Brahman. Mimamsa is also known as Purva Kanda, Karma Kanda, and Dharma Mimamsa. It deals with the Vedic injunctions about rituals, the rules of the interpretation of texts, which remove the apparent contradictions among them and harmonize them with one another, and the philosophical justification of the beliefs underlying ritualism. Mimamsa believes in the reality of the external world, the reality of the individual soul, and the law of karma. Kumarila Bhatta, who is an important figure in Mimamsa philosophy, recognizes 6 pramanas or valid sources of knowledge. He added Anupalabdhi and Arthapati. Anupalabdhi means postulation and Arthapati means non-perception. Arthapati can be translated as postulation and Anupalabdhi can be translated as non-perception. So, Kumarila Bhatta has added Anupalabdhi and Arthapati to the list of Nayayika's pramanas. But Pravakara refutes Anupalabdhi as a means of valid knowledge and endorses the others. Kumarila recognizes 5 categories, which are substance, quality, action, community, and negation, whereas Prabhakara admits 8 categories, which are substance, quality, action, community, inherence, similarity, number, and potency. Kumarila professes 11 substances, whereas Prabhakara accepts only 9 substances. The 11 substances are earth, water, light, air, ether, time, space, self, manas, darkness, and sound. According to Prabhakara, sound is the quality of ether and darkness is the absence of light. Let us now look at the nature of valid knowledge according to Mimamsa. For Kumarila Bhatta, valid knowledge is that which gives knowledge of an unknown object. Further, it should not be contradictory or contradicted by other knowledge and must be free from other defects. According to him, Prama denotes the actual experience of an object, an unknown object. According to Mimamsa school, valid knowledge is of 2 kinds: perceptual and non-perceptual. Non-perceptual knowledge has 5 sources, which are inference, comparison, shabda, Anupalabdhi, and Arthapati. The Mimamsakas agree with the pramanas which are accepted by the Nyaya school. However, they have added 2 more pramanas to the list of pramanas. One is Arthapati or postulation and another is Anupalabdhi. Let us now look at Arthapati or postulation. It is a method of cognition according to Kumarila. The word Arthapati is made of two words, Artha and Apatti. Artha means fact and Apatti means supposition. Etymologically, Arthapati is that knowledge which resolves the conflict between two facts. It gives the presupposition that solves the problem between two conflicting facts. That is, when a known fact can't be accounted for without another fact, we have to assume the existence of the other fact. For example, Devadatta is fat by fasting all day. There are two facts that we find here. One is that he is fat and second is that he is fasting. So how is it possible that a person who is fasting is becoming fat? To resolve this contradiction, we assume that Devadatta or the person is eating during night time. So in this way, the Mimamsa philosophy says that if in a proposition we find two facts which are contradicting each other, then we have to recognize or presume something. That is, to postulate some proposition which resolves the contradiction that we find in the initial proposition. There are two categories of postulation according to Mimamsa. The first one is called Drustarthapati, and in this case, postulation is used to explain and elaborate the perceived incident. Example, Devadatta becomes fat by eating at night. The next category of postulation is Srutarthapati. Here, postulation assists to explain and resolve some subject which is heard. Example, if one hears the fact that the village from which Rama hails is on Yamuna, then this can be understood only when this statement is interpreted as the village is situated on the banks of the river Yamuna. Now, if we reduce Arthapati to inference, then the inference structure would look like this. The first premise would be a man who is not eating at night while fasting all day is not fat. And the second premise would be this man while fasting all day is fat. And the conclusion is, therefore, this is not a man who does not eat at night. In this inference, we find that there is a lack of Vyapti relation between Hetu and Sadhya. Vyapti relation is a relation between the major term and the middle term. It is an inseparable, invariable, universal and concomitant relation between the major term and the middle term. Since we do not find this kind of relation between the major term and the middle term, we cannot reduce Arthapati or postulation to inference. Therefore, it is an independent source of valid knowledge or pramana. I will be discussing Anupalabdhi, that is, how it is considered as an independent source of knowledge, and other things like Pramanyavada in the next part of the series on Mimamsa philosophy.